Today, we are diving deep into one of the most profound mysteries of Tantra. And look, we're not just going to talk about some sacred, dormant power that's supposedly inside you. We are going to map out the entire journey to awaken it. You know, that's not just a beautiful metaphor. The yogic traditions talk about a real primordial spiritual energy, a sacred fire that, once you awaken it, can literally transform your entire experience of life. And that is the journey of Kundalini Ascension.
Awakening this coiled energy, which is often shown as a serpent, just resting at the base of your spine, well, that's seen as the very beginning of the deepest journey you can take, a journey of self-knowledge and, ultimately, enlightenment.
Okay, so before we could even talk about the journey, we really need to understand the landscape. What exactly is this energy, and what's the system that it lives in?
So Kundalini is basically your own vital life force, your prana, but in its most pure and potent state. The ancient texts describe it as this incredible divine feminine power, coiled up 3.5 times, just waiting, holding all the potential for your ultimate transformation.
So how does this energy even move? Well, yogic theory describes an energy body that exists right alongside our physical one. It's called the Pranamaya Kosha. I want you to think of it like this incredibly intricate roadmap of 72,000 subtle channels, like energy highways, all carrying that vital life force to every single part of your being.
These channels, they're called Nadis. And while there are thousands of them, the entire network really stems from 3 main pathways that run right along your spinal cord. These 3, they form the central map for this whole journey of ascension.
So on the left side of the spine, you've got the Ida Nadi. This one's associated with lunar energy. It's thought of as feminine, cooling. It's connected to our introverted, creative side. Then on the right, we have the Pingala Nadi, the solar channel. That's masculine, it's warming, and it governs our logical, extroverted, and active side. You know, most of the time, we're just bouncing between these 2 states, with one kind of dominating our energy and how we feel.
And this brings us to the most important channel of all, the Sushumna Nadi. This is the central column, the direct superhighway from the base of your spine right up to the crown of your head. For most people, it's totally dormant, because our energy is always flowing through either Ida or Pingala. The whole goal of so many yogic practices is to balance these 2 sides, allowing that life force to finally enter the Sushumna and begin its great ascent.
All right, now that we know the landscape, let's take a look at the actual map for the journey itself. The path of ascension follows a series of major energy junctions along that central channel, the Sushumna, the 7 sacred portals we call chakras. Now here's a little secret. While we almost always talk about the 7 chakras, some traditions say there are actually 114 of these energy junctions in the body. The 7 that we focus on are just the major hubs, the most fundamental portals on this incredible inner journey.
So here's the crucial point. You can really describe the spiritual path as a journey from Muladhara all the way up to Sahasrara. Each chakra represents a completely different level of intensity, a different dimension of life, evolving from our most basic, primal survival instincts to the absolute highest states of cosmic consciousness. As the Kundalini awakens, it rises like a sacred fire right up through this central channel, and it purifies and transforms every single chakra it touches. This is a journey of total transmutation.
The journey always begins at the foundation, down in Muladhara, the root. Deep-seated fears and survival issues are brought to the surface to be transmuted into this unshakable sense of security. The fire then moves up to Swadhisthana, the sacral center, where it melts emotional rigidity into this beautiful, creative, fluid expression. And when it reaches Manipura, the solar plexus, it burns away any feelings of powerlessness, forging true self-confidence and the willpower to act on your dreams.
But when the energy reaches the Anahata, the heart, we arrive at a major turning point. This is a moment of pure alchemy. Here, the sacred fire doesn't burn, it warms. It just gently melts the walls of the ego, opening up a space for deep compassion, for forgiveness, and for unconditional love. This is the bridge between our material world and the spiritual realms.
Moving even higher, the energy gets to the Shuddha, at the throat, purifying your self-expression so you can finally speak your truth with total clarity. Then, at the Ajna, your third eye, the fire just dissipates illusion, awakening this crystal-clear intuition. And finally, the ascent culminates at the Sahasrara, the crown.
And all of this, it leads us to the ultimate purpose of this mystical quest, the full flowering of human consciousness, something we often call enlightenment.
When that energy finally hits Sahasrara, the experience is described as nothing less than pure ecstasy. And there's no external reason for it. It's just your energy has touched its absolute peak. That sense of a separate me just dissolves into a feeling of complete unity with all of existence.
In the language of the ancient texts, this is the union of Shakti, the divine energy, with Shiva, pure consciousness, right there at the Sahasrara. It is the experience of Samadhi, a state of profound bliss and absolutely boundless awareness. But you have to understand, this journey isn't about becoming someone new. It is a continuous process of remembering, of returning to your true divine nature. It's an evolution back to the source, awakening the potential that has been sleeping inside you all along.
The map is already within you. The energy is already within you. The entire path is an ascent through your own being. This whole system for transformation exists inside you right now. So the only real question left is the one right in front of you. Where will you begin?